Once Human just got a graphic technology upgrade, although there are some discrepancies and issues there right now. We'll go over what we're going to be seeing for the brand new event for the Visional wheel. That will also include and lead us on to the January 30th store update, as well as some additional in-game rewards that you can claim. We got a ton to talk about. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things Once Human. Okay, so first up, let's talk about this brand new technology that Once Human is going to be receiving, and the brand new graphical update there with that. So if you haven't seen, a lot of the new NVIDIA GPUs are coming out, the 5000 series, specifically the 5080 and the 5090. However, more than likely, none of you watching this video were able to get your hands on one, as they seem to sell out nearly instantly. There's also been a ton of posts about it. However, this graphical upgrade actually doesn't matter what graphics card you're currently on, or at least it won't matter for some of the future upgrades and updates. So DLSS 4 did drop yesterday alongside those graphics cards. We will also be receiving something called the Reflex 2 Warp. However, as of right now, that feature is currently locked to the 5000 series, but they do say that they're going to bring that to the older series graphics cards. Again, this feature does include all graphics cards that are capable of DLSS, so any RTX series, and yes, that does include 2000, 3000, and 4000 series. Now, currently, Once Human was supposed to receive Day 0 support for DLSS 4. However, there is a bit of discrepancies there. First off, I've noticed some issue, which I currently use the Loading Bay client, where the NVIDIA app does not currently recognize the Loading Bay version of Once Human. It is fairly simple, but as of right now, you will need to manually update your DLSS. However, since the NVIDIA app does not recognize Once Human, or at least the Loading Bay version of Once Human, you're probably not going to be able to update your DLSS right now. However, the Steam client version, from what I can tell, does recognize that. So if we head over to the NVIDIA app, and I have a tutorial on how to actually install this and get this up and running. Now, it is on my finals videos, but I will link down to it below. You can just check out the DLSS 4 portion of that video. I do have timestamps in that video, so you can check it out and see where to actually and how to actually install DLSS 4. Essentially, you just need to be on the updated driver, as well as have the new NVIDIA app update. I will link down below to all the downloads for that, specifically the driver update and the new NVIDIA app. Once you do get those up and running, you can then head over to the NVIDIA app, where you do need to restart your PC after installing all this. That's in order for your games to be set up. If your games aren't being detected by the NVIDIA app, there are a few remedies there. So first up, you can add scan locations. So if you do have a program that's not being detected, you can add a scan location for that. And you can also add a program individually. Now, if you see here, even if I add the Loading Bay version of Once Human manually, it still does not allow us to actually edit these files, or at least add the new DLSS. However, using the finals as an example, as I do not have the Steam client version of Once Human, you can head to this section here under the game and go to driver settings. Upon doing so, you'll see a setting here called DLSS Override Model Presets. Now, you'll also see two other categories here, frame generation and super resolution. However, the current multi-frame generation is locked to the 5000 series, and as of right now, you cannot change out the super resolution of Once Human. If you do click on the model presets version here though, you should be able to change out the normal frame generation. This is just frame generation, not multi-frame generation. So as you'll see here, you'll see a setting, and you just have to hit the drop down arrow and click latest. Now, there is a discrepancy here. This setting is only applicable if you have a 4000 series or newer graphics card. So 2000 series and 3000 series will not have access to this setting right now. However, eventually we should get the process to actually enable DLSS 4 for Once Human. Again, as of right now, it is locked to frame gen and multi-frame gen. Frame gen locked to the 4000 series and multi-frame gen locked to the 5000 series. But this is how you will essentially upgrade that technology there. I will include this link down below, but you can head to this here and look at all the games that will be getting these technology increases or applications that you can apply to. Now, as you'll see here, Once Human has these first two categories able to be overrided. However, the third category only has a check mark. That just means that it natively supports DLSS, and that it unfortunately did not receive the DLSS 4 transformer model. So hopefully eventually Once Human will get that DLSS 4 transformer model. Now, currently there is a way to manually globally force DLSS 4. However, I would recommend not doing so. The reason being is that this actually does replace a DLL file in Once Human's subcategory or the directory, and people have been banned for this before. One of the most common examples is actually with anti-lag and AMD. people were getting banned by replacing that DLL file there. And literally, it was just setting through AMD's software, where people weren't even doing it manually like that. It was allowing the software to add anti-lag, and people got banned from CSGO. So typically, you can do this for single-player games, but it is highly advised not to do this with multiplayer games. You can check out the thread here. A lot of people are talking about this, so I wouldn't do that if there is an anti-cheat, which for the Once Human case, we do have anti-cheat with that game. And Once Human devs are known for banning players very, very quickly. So I would highly advise against this, although certain people have done it so far. There are 2 postings here where people have replaced this for their Battlefield 2044, Once Human, and this person also did replace it for Once Human. Now again, I would avoid this at all costs right now. I would not do this for any of your multiplayer games, as if they have an anti-cheat, more than likely it will detect a discrepancy there. Hopefully Once Human devs do figure out the issue with loading bay. Gonna try to get some fixes there. I might have to download this Steam client and see which files differ. If anybody has both versions of the game and they can let me know what is different in those folders, I would very much appreciate that, as my internet is not very fast and it does take me quite a long time to download these games. So hopefully they do fix that and get the override for DLSS 4, as well as figuring out the loading bay version of the game, as it is literally NetEase's client that's just not being recognized by the NVIDIA app. So hopefully they do figure that out. Moving on though, we did have some brand new events specifically for the Visional wheel. Now this happened a long time ago, or was pointed out during a dev talk. However, we're now coming up on that phase here. So if we look here by this post, they do point out that we're getting an event preview with the Mystical Vision arriving, where you can collect rubies to redeem amazing rewards. As they do also point out with this comment and the Visional Wheel guide that happened during a dev talk, starting in phase 2 of the Visional Wheels, players can earn rubies by performing various actions in the scenario, or by completing challenges. You can collect rubies, which will upgrade your event level and unlock rewards. You can redeem unique paint materials, limited cosmetics, and other rewards. So they're now finally giving out some free cosmetics here, other than the few that we have. Really happy about that. That doesn't start till February 13th, and I'm sure we'll have a ton more information on that. I will go over that when we do get those updates there. Speaking of some Reddit posts here, someone did compare the improved compound fertilizer versus the Lunar Red enhanced fertilizer. It's a pretty good thread over here that goes over pretty much everything in this. So if you are a crop farmer or you do a lot of plant stuff, this guide is definitely for you here. As they do also point out here, it does depend on how easily you can obtain Stardust Source, as that will really apply overall. But it is a very nice guide here, if you're going to point this out, as they have a very detailed analysis here. Next up and last up here, we do have some free rewards, this pertaining to StarCrom. So this first one here is, there is, as they note, 2 weeks left for the Team Up to Survive, where you can log in and claim 2,000 StarCrom for free. If you do also team up, you'll get some additional rewards there. I'll also include my link down below, as you do need specific deviation cards. Right now, I do have a few Digby boys, and if you click on that specific link, you'll actually take one of mine. So I will include a link to the Team Up Survive event itself, as well as a Digby boy itself, as you will need to claim these cards in order to merge a deluxe bag, which will earn you some in-game rewards, as well as some additional items there, and 2,000 StarCrom. There's also the Spring event here, which you can claim up to 3,500 StarCrom, as well as the Daily Gifts event, which has another 4,000 StarCrom. So a lot to go around there. Of course, we did have that brand new January 30th store update, where they did add the Overlimit theme pack, which does include the set for the Polar Quest. They also added a brand new furniture pack, Dawn and Dusk Sunbury Bedroom, which we did get a teaser of before. And they have some facility cosmetics here, the Loamy Soil. So a pretty decent shop update there as well. Overall, that's about covered for today's video. If you like, subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!